Greetings and welcome everyone to this week's episode of Poly Weekly News. I'm your host David Danto, and joining me today is mon ami à Paris, Ophélie. Comment ça va?
Mais ça va très bien, David. Et
I
toi?
can't go back and forth. That's as much French as I learned as 8 years in high school and college. But
Oh,
good to see you in the morning in Paris. We're here to show everyone. We've talked about what we announced at Zoomtopia, but we haven't really shown anyone the TC10. And Ophélie is taking her time in Paris to walk us through and show us some of that technology. So rather than interrupt her normal flow of demonstrations, which is what she does for us, why don't we switch it over to her? And but before you start, give us the 2-3 minutes of who you are and what you do and how long you've been with Poly and HP now, and then you can get right started into your demo.
sure. I've been working for Poly like Poly, Polycom, and yes, and now Poly/HP for 12 years now, David. So always exciting, we're going to have new products and exciting new things to talk about. So yeah, really glad to be doing this job, which is actually welcoming my customers virtually and physically, and talk about their challenges and whatever they need to be equipping their meeting rooms with. And I have a beautiful showroom, to do all that.
Walk us around. Give us a hint as to what's going on.
All right, so today we're going to talk about the TC8 to really simplify the life of users, because of course I could talk to you with passion and enthusiasm about our great solutions and all the technology behind it. But when it boils down to it, it's the ease of use that matters, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Right. And, I see a lot of time people walking in front of meeting rooms, and sometimes then they don't even have glass walls and they don't know if the room is busy. And sometimes they just come into the room and they're going to use it, not knowing that this room is going to be used further down, during the day. So that could be a problem, first of all, right? How do you book the room? How do you get that visibility of the room? And so the TC8 already does that. It's a scheduler, and it can allow you, if you have the device, for example, against a wall, that can actually be fixed on a glass pane, which is something really awesome. And you can see if the room is busy, if there are people in the room physically, even if they haven't booked it. The camera is going to detect the presence of people and change the color at the bottom of the screen. All right, so visually, if the room is being used or not, or if it's being booked or not. So that can be inside the room or it can be outside. What do you think about that?
That's cool. I mean, I've seen a lot of panels in the past that just have a green light or a red light. It doesn't give that kind of information about whether there's somebody actually in the room, what's going on later in the day. So that's really good. And that's the TC10, right?
It is the TC10. And let me tell you, I mean, the first time we put that into action, we were really like kids in a toy store, because you saw that the TC8 was showing green. And as soon as you entered the room, and we have glass pane, so you could see people inside or out, and it actually turns red as soon as people walk inside. So it's really, really, really great. You can actually compare and contrast the system with the TC8 right next to it, which is for smaller meeting rooms, because, of course, we have a great panel and a great portfolio of devices, right? We have collaboration bars for small, medium, large rooms, and you do need to have the same sort of service, right? You need to see if the room is busy. You need to know if you can book it. So that's why we also have those two devices right next to each other. So you can have the TC10 outside of the room to make sure that you can use it or not. And I'll show you in a second, if you want, how to book it on the fly. But when you get inside the room, it's nice to have that proper size, to fit the room and make it nice. So the TC8 is really great for that. it fits a small, medium-sized room.
So why don't you give us a bit of a close-up view and a walkthrough of how the TC10 looks and how it works?
David. Okay, so already the fact that the font is quite large, you can see the room name, you can see all the bookings listed right underneath the other, and a huge busy, sign with the red lights on the side and a very large red strip at the bottom. So if I want to book another slot, because obviously right now it's busy, I can use the touch screen and just select the slot that I need, and give it a name. I'll call it test. There you go. I can even request a meeting password. I can email participants. I mean, this is as easy as booking right off your Outlook, right? I can reserve another room if I want to as well. And that's it. It took me, I don't know, less than 10 seconds. How easy is that?
That's an awesome use of the display, and I really like it. It's the first time I've really seen it up close. That's intended for outside the room, right?
It is correct. It is for outside of the room. And I like to point out that you can set it up on wall. You can also set it up on a glass wall. There's a special mount for it. And there's a clip right behind it, so you can also have it on a table if you want to. There are a couple of positions. You have a 30-degree and a 60-degree position. But even if it's against a wall, we actually worked on the fact that it's slightly tilted, because we noticed, a lot of customers pointed that out, was that if it's too flat on the wall, it really reflects so much light that you can't read anything. So it's an important point.
Thinking about how the quality and how everything looks on it. So compare that to us for the existing to the TC8. How does the TC8 work as opposed to the TC10?
Well, why don't we take a look?
Go for it. Let's get a close up of the TC8 and take a look at how that works.
Sure. Let's take a quick look at the differences between the TC10 10-inch diagonal and the TC8 right next to it. Again, these two products, are totally compatible, and this is in no way a replacement of that little guy. Okay, it's important to point out, because not every single room needs to have a TC8 to be looking that huge. You get to see one that has like the dark display, and the back of it is black. The other one is white. So if you have different color room, it's nice to be able to pick your choice. All right.
And also, I should point out to our viewers that you're in a Poly Experience Center, so you've got a whole bunch of technology sitting on the table and in the room. That's not how a typical room would look. You wouldn't have 9 wires and 15 things on the table, but that's just how we do the demos.
That's for sure. Again, I'm in a candy store. I have a lot of things, and it's more like a toy store.
Yep.
I have so many things to compare and contrast, but then again, you can tell here. You have a TC10 with a dark theme on it, and underneath you do have the TC8. Okay, much larger. But I think this.
Yeah, show it to us.
It's nice and it's easy to hold. For a room for about 4 to 6 people. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's only one cable for every single one of these devices. They're all power over Ethernet. You don't have that many cables to manage as well. Okay. For all of the devices that we have at Poly, holding out the Zoom platform environment, is that you have the exact same button, the same colors that you have on your Zoom application on your phone or on your laptop. So it's just a like a
consistency.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, David. It's consistency. If you need to make a phone call, you probably saw in the background that I have a Trio C60 to do that. But if you want to hold everything onto the same device, you can also do that. I mean, I like technology and I understand that you can do that, but at the same time, people might rather actually use a phone separately to make a phone call.
Yeah, phones
But
are not going away. People have a comfort factor with the style and shape, and people enjoy using it.
so do I.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like the various devices for what they do, okay, specific things. And so you can create your new meeting, join a meeting. This is just as easy as 1, 2, 3. Pretty much that's what I did today. As I worked from home and I had to come to the office to see you today, but I used my Zoom application to make a phone call using my fantastic headset. Can I talk about my Voyager Focus 2, David, please?
Absolutely. In fact, if I'd love you to show the headset, but if you can, I know you're on a mobile cart. You can show us a little bit more of the Experience Center if you want for a minute or two.
Sure. Do you have some time with it?
Absolutely.
I mean, so yeah, okay. I was talking to one of our colleagues actually that's in the Zoom Alliance with Nikki. I was on the Zoom platform using my headset. I turned on the camera so you could see the train behind me. And I said to him, look at that, we should have recorded that call, because I asked him if he could hear the train that he could see behind me, but he said, of course not. You're using the Voyager Focus 2. I love this one so
Voyager,
much.
I'm using the Focus 1, I think, right now. I have the Focus 2 somewhere else, but
I saw that too, which is fabulous. I mean, the sound quality is great. But this one is definitely my other favorite, and it's just super comfortable. I barely feel it on my head.
What happened is I've been using the Focus, the original Voyager Focus for probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years since it came out, and then I got the new Focus 2 in a box, and part of me wanted to open it up, but this has been working so well that I decided, you know what, let me keep it in a box and I'll give it away to one of our customers or clients at one of the trade shows I go to. I'm going to be at ISE at the end of January. I don't know if I'll see you there, or if I'll see the rest of our colleagues there in Barcelona, and maybe I'll give away the Voyager Focus 2 while I'm there. I always feel bad unboxing
That's
it.
such a beautiful present. I mean, I do have the Voyager,
That's
the original one.
Right.
Yeah, it is very sweet and very comfortable. But you know what, David? Probably I'll end up staying here in my showroom. Just
it's a tough life staying in Paris, wandering around the Champs-Élysées, and it's hard. Show us the rest of the PEC for a second. Show us what it looks like in there.
Okay. Sure. I mean, I am just, out of curiosity, if people wonder what I'm using the Poly Studio USB. It's mounted on a cart. So today we don't have anybody. There's just you and I.
Well, it's also, when we're putting this together, it's the end of your day. So we have to be aware that we're globally doing things.
That's true. And bear in mind, there's a lot of football.
Yes. It is the World Cup right now.
It is the World Cup. So this week we welcomed a lot of Poly/HP customers. We had about 30 people that came over here. So this is my welcome area. And trust me, we had a most fabulous buffet with, of course, just water. All right, so we have various meeting rooms, and we definitely we will replace those screens and have some TC10, for room scheduling. So it'll be nice. And when we do welcome our customers, we actually create a single space. We have 2 different meeting rooms, and we open them up so that people can all be seated in one spot.
That's great.
All right. And coming into this section, I designed it. I love it. It's so nice and blue, always happy. And this is where actually I talk about the collaboration bars with the X30, 50, and 7. Our customers can really visualize what they look like and what they do. And they can even test things out. They can bring their own laptops and and see how they work. Okay.
That's terrific.
And that's, yes, the X70, that's right over there. And if I have just a quick moment to show you the area where we talk over pets and our personal devices. This is the section.
Wow, look at all the toys.
And our customers do too. So I hope, maybe that could give out some ideas, and our customers eventually might want to get a demonstration out of our many centers.
Let's actually talk about that. So if you happen to be lucky enough to be in Paris and want to visit that, they can contact their salesman or their local rep that can arrange a visit. If you don't happen to be in Paris, you can we have these experience centers all across the world in many major cities. So again, reach out to your Poly representative. If you don't have a friend or a representative or a salesperson from Poly, you can reach out to me. My email address is david.danto@hp.com, and I'm sure they could reach out to you as well. And as you're proving to us on this video, if you're not able to show up, which is, by the way, there's nothing different, there's nothing better than holding the device in your hand and listening to how much better the sound is and seeing how much better the video is. But if that's not physically possible for you for some reason, we can give you a tour of the PEC like this over video. Over Zoom, over Microsoft Teams, over whatever application you have, and you can just walk people through how the products work.
Exactly. That's the point. We have all the tools for that, and you can test them out during a call. There's no, how should I say, no trick. Okay, you can be sitting in your office, you can be working from home, and we can show you the beautiful audio and video quality that our system holds, and you can make your own opinion.
Yeah. And you've been pretty good. I mean, first of all, the video and audio are excellent, but there have been some occasions as you move around the office where there's a little Wi-Fi dropout or something, but the fact that it's actually working on Wi-Fi at this high a quality is stunning. So I really do appreciate that, and that's one of the reasons we left that in, because we wanted people to see that as you move around the office that it really works and stays connected, and it's a great opportunity to communicate any way you do it. So tell people, if they wanted to reach out to you, how do they find out more about you personally? Email, social media, what's the right way to get in touch with you?
All right, so my name is not the easiest one to remember by, because
I've botched it 6 times already on the show.
So my name is Ophelie Harbonnier. So it's OPHELIE.HARBONNIER@hp.com. And I'm on LinkedIn. You can follow, whatever we do here. We try to post as many things as we can on our products and customers' visits. And I would love to meet you in person or over video anytime soon.
Terrific. Hey, thank you very much for spending the time with us today. I realize it's the end of your day, but it was a great demo for people to see that haven't seen the product yet. For everybody at Poly and HP, I'm your host, David Danto. Thanks very much for joining us this week. We'll see you next week.
Bye.